generally, whatever jurisdiction you're in, whether you're in city limits or in a township or whatever it happens to be, you would have to get permits if you did something like an outdoor festival where you're going to build anything and stuff gets inspected, and so on. If you're going to have a big event, something like a jazz festival where you're going to have tens of thousands of people, you're going to have a whole medical operation. So you would talk to somebody, you would have somebody hopefully associated with you that knows a lot about medical operations for special events, because it's a little bit different than other types of events. So at Jazz Fest we have a doctor on staff who advises us on how many ambulances we should have on site, we have doctors and nurses out there, we have medical tents set up that are really equipped to do just about anything. We've had heart attacks out there, we've had women go into labor, we have a lot of issues with heat and with, of course, people drinking a lot, every once in a while drug overdoses, something like that, and so they have to be equipped to deal with that sort of thing. And generally you can go, if you need a Band-Aid or anything, something like that at festivals, they'll have a first aid situation. Even like at the Superdome on a regular basis, they have an ambulance company that they're contracted with who is on site for any type of event. We generally also have medical on site when we're doing something like rigging in the Superdome, where you have the potential for somebody that's working to get hurt. We'll have medical on site for that too. But you can usually talk to the local authorities, the medical, like the EMS here, city EMS, and they will give you certain advice as well. They don't necessarily have as much experience at it, so you just have to kind of, see how much they know about it and whether or not you need to bring in somebody else. So, and I don't know a whole lot about permitting, but I know if you build a stage somewhere, you have to have permits for that. If you're going to block a street, anything like that, you have to get permits for it. So, in the past, just recent situations with after the flood and having fewer hospitals. When we had Jazz Fest last year, we just did some research. The doctor we work with, he knew which hospitals were up and running, how many emergency rooms there were, and he talked to them and felt like they were all equipped to deal with what we had. We have very few serious incidents at Jazz Fest, so we normally, on any given day, maybe transport 4 people to a hospital. So it's not like they're getting 20, 30, 40, 50 people showing up at the hospital. Another festival I work on in Tennessee, you may have heard of Bonnaroo, and that's a festival where about 80,000 people camp out for 3 or 4 days on a huge site, like a 700-acre site. And they have much more serious medical issues because people are living there. So it's like if you had a town with 80,000 people in it. So they've had some serious issues. They've had some deaths as well, unfortunately. Most of them have been young kids, drug-related. Last year, 2 years ago, they had a kid who ran out in front of a tour bus on the highway and was killed. So that was pretty awful.